Hey Reflection, so I'm going to La Casa Spa and I'm going to be floating there and I think it's going to be a really cool experience. I just ingested Ormus, so hey Reflection, so I finished with my first float experience and that was a pretty awesome experience. I just wanted to let you guys know that not only did I take Ormus, and for me, a pretty big dose, as soon as I ingested the Ormus, I immediately felt different. I immediately felt a little bit of a rush or sometimes anxiety, which is kind of annoying, but it was working. And also, I decided to, since I had an hour, the first time you go, it's an hour, but if you go there again, they usually give you about 90 minutes to relax, which is kind of something that I think I needed this time around because it was just so hard to just like let go and relax. And every single time I did, I'd freak out a little bit and, like just it since I was in a map coding and since I had taken Ormus, it felt like a very psychedelic experience, like super psychedelic. And also, like, for some reason, I was like afraid of the dark, which is really odd. It felt like I had a really hard time letting go, which is very unfortunate, but it was my very first time. And of course, things we do for the first time is really scary. So it was a little terrifying at first. I didn't really know what to expect. I actually was really happy that it was open because I sometimes get claustrophobic. But I am going to be trying out another place. I think I forget what it's called, but there's another place that I'm also going to try. But they also have the more modern, like closed tanks, which is going to be really interesting. So as soon as I went in, it was really difficult to just let go. And finally, when I did, it was very psychedelic to the point where it scared me. And once I started feeling that fear, I just told myself that, again, fear is an illusion and I just need to relax. There's no reason for me to be scared of the situation. And it was really making me angry because I was just like, this, like I paid for this session. It's not a cheap session. Floating in Manhattan goes anywhere from 80 to $115. So I was paying quite a lot of money for this time slot, and I was just getting a little bit of annoyed of myself that it was really hard to let go. But eventually, after about 10 minutes, I did. And my here's the thing. I almost feel like this is preparing us for death. Like when I went into that white space, when I went into singularity, that's the feeling that you get of weightlessness, and no thought. And technically, that's death. And that's why it terrified me so much. And I kept on trying to just relax and tell myself, don't think, don't think. And there were moments in time, and I don't know if this happens to you guys, but it does happen to me, where I feel like I'm just falling, and I'm falling like deeper and deeper and deeper uh, into nothingness. And that was, again, when I first started, it was quite terrifying. It was really, 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 really scary. I didn't like it at all, but by the time it was my time was up, I was just like, oh man, like that was awesome because I was getting to a point of being lucid and I started to have visions. I started to see things. Um, it was at the beginning of the hypnagogic hallucinations that I usually have every night. But yeah, it was so cool, and like man, I want to do it again, and I just want to be just really relaxed and just calm, just really calm. I think it was just the knowing that I was doing such intense stuff. I was taking Ormus, I was in a float tank, I had a map coning. It seemed like a lot, and I could just imagine somebody trying to do a float experience while on a psychedelic, and I would not suggest you do this unless you've had some experience with the float tank, because you might freak out, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good if you don't know what's going on. If you've floated before and you're completely fine with it and you know what you're doing, and if you've taken acid before and you're fine with it, then of course it's not going to be a scary experience. But for me, it was very intense to do all of that, and it was very healing. I asked to be healed of just any negativity, any low vibrational thoughts, any fear, anything like that. And I did feel a release, and it was beautiful. I do wish that I had allowed myself to get into like a deeper trance state, because I think I could have done a lot with that. I just think it was my first time. I'm going to do this again. I'm totally going to do this again, and I'm going to do it different ways. I'm going to go to different places. It was so cool. I was really, really happy with the experience. And man, I could see myself doing this, at least once a month, at least maybe twice a week, because it's really gets you into that no thought, and gosh, it feels like you're meditating for years. It's really awesome, and it's something that I want to experience again. I didn't do an update on my birthday. That's because I had a vision, and I did, without psychedelics, actually. I did have a vision, although I was on MDMA, but not a lot again. So that's why I'm going to do a completely separate video on that. And I do want to talk about, and I don't want to tell you guys about it yet, because I made a painting and I'm not done with the painting, but it was so cool, and it was so me. It was just my soul expressing itself. The vision was so me, and it was so girly, and it was just so funny. So I'm not going to really talk about that, only because I want to talk about it in depth, and I do want to show you guys the painting, because it's just, the one thing that I am focusing on is doing more artwork, because the thing is, when I have these psychedelic experiences, or when I have these visions, they are like ingrained in my brain, and like I remember them, and I just need to paint them, and I have to keep on reminding myself I need to paint them. Also, I'm so excited. I got the best birthday present ever. Yes, I know. I'm so excited. You guys probably saw this on my Instagram, but it is the compiled alchemical works of Irenaeus Philalethes, and I'm so excited. A friend had got me this, and a friend that is awesome and knows me really well, and yeah, I'm going to be doing something with this. I really think that I need to start reading it, and possibly share some information in this book. This is a super expensive book. That's why I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked when I received this, and it's so funny, because this was on my to buy list on Amazon, and of course, I get it. Like I wasn't about to spend $400 or $500 on a book, but I guess it was meant to be, and that just it. everything's so synchronistic. Also, as soon as I got out of the float tank and I was like walking back to my apartment, again, I saw synchronicity numbers, like just like looking and like, oh, 222. And I'm like, it's just, it's so many things leading up to really cool stuff. And I'm just really excited. I'm really, really excited. And also, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Anton Parks series. I am going to finish it. I promise I'm going to do another chapter. But you know what? Here's the thing. I thought about it. That person's a content creator. I'm a content creator, and I don't really, feel good just reading it word for word, verbatim. So what I'm probably going to do is because I read chapters so fast. The book is so good. So I'm just going to paraphrase it and just, write a little summary chapter by chapter, and then I'm going to put it up. My hair is really dry because like they had shampoo, but they didn't have conditioner, and like, so anyway, reflections. Yeah, that was my float experience with Ormus and a map coning. If you don't know what a map coning is, it's from the Perlandria book. It's the medical assistance program, and it's really amazing, especially for your mental health, mental clarity. It was really relaxing to me. Because whenever I ingest Ormus, it's like all of a sudden like I'm just shaking and my body's buzzing and it's too much. And I feel like scared, or I feel like blast off, you know what I mean? Like that, how you feel when you just take some acid or you just take some like DMT. Like that's like the jitters that I get. I don't know if other people get that, but since I'm very sensitive, if I take an average dose, it will feel like a very psychedelic experience to me. So that's why I only took 8 drops. And I know people are like, oh, 8 drops, that's nothing. But to me, since I'm very sensitive, it felt like a semi-breakthrough experience. Just emotionally and just it felt along the lines of an acid peak. You know what I mean? Not really DMT, but more along the lines of acid. So that's why like it was really hard for me to just relax and let go. But yeah, it was such a cool experience. I highly recommend it. And I will be going back. I actually bought another package, which I'm really, really excited about. And I'm going to try another place. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just relaxing, I'm hibernating. It's really cold here and I can't be bothered to leave the house. So yeah, anyway, reflections. I hope you're having an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Bye, reflections.